here's the issue with the WNBA, and I'm going to repeat a mantra. It is the most unlikable league and culture in all of sports by far. And I'm talking from the players to some of the ownership, to all the media members, to the podcasters, to those who defend it. It's the most unlikable league in the whole wide world. And this is just another piece of evidence to support that statement.
Before Caitlin Clark ever stepped onto a professional court, the WNBA believed it had found its savior, a once-in-a-generation superstar with the rare ability to transcend the game. From the moment she arrived, Clark shattered television records, sold out arenas, and brought national attention to women's basketball in a way few athletes ever had. Yet instead of celebrating her, the league made a stunning misstep. Its greatest asset became its biggest liability. Beneath the polished press conferences and highlight reels lies a far harsher truth. The WNBA is fractured, consumed by internal politics, and increasingly described as having one of the most toxic cultures in professional sports. This isn't an accusation from critics or rival leagues, it's a consequence of how the organization treated the one player capable of shaping its future. When Clark turned down a potentially life-changing multi-million-dollar offer, headlines immediately labeled it a mistake. But it wasn't. Her decision had nothing to do with loyalty to a league that has underpaid and overused her image. This was something far more deliberate, a trap. And the WNBA walked straight into it. What unfolded next was nothing short of genius. A new league had quietly emerged, unrivaled, co-founded by WNBA stars Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. And when they approached Clark, they didn't come empty-handed. They presented what insiders called a Lionel Messi-style deal, an empire, not just a contract. The offer reportedly included over $1 million for just 8 to 10 weeks of play, more than 13 times her WNBA rookie salary of $76,535. To put that into perspective, Clark has generated millions for the WNBA in sponsorships, sellout crowds, and record-breaking TV ratings, yet she earns less than a mid-level office employee. The imbalance isn't just unfair, it's insulting. But the offer from Unrivaled went beyond money. It included ownership stakes, equity, and partial control of the new league's direction. For the first time, Clark wasn't being treated as a product, she was being offered PowerPoint. One of Unrivaled's founders even said what many were already thinking: Caitlin Clark was being exploited. The WNBA had been more than willing to use her fame to boost its bottom line without giving her the compensation or influence she had earned. So when the offer hit the table, everyone assumed she would take it. More money, more respect, and more freedom, it seemed like the perfect escape from a league that had been pocketing her impact while paying her pennies.
Another reason why Caitlin Clark needs to flee the WNBA. It's a political organization. They're not serious about business. They don't care about traditional sports fans. It's a little cult that puts out little political statements and everybody wears vote t-shirts. They don't care about making money. They don't care really about building up this league and making it profitable. They're a charity. She needs to flee the WNBA and start her own.
What made Caitlin Clark's next move so shocking wasn't that she took the bait, it's that she walked away from it. The sports world froze when Clark declined the offer. It wasn't just unexpected, it was unthinkable. Who turns down $1 million salary, ownership stakes, and financial independence? Who refuses a chance to escape a system that has clearly failed to protect and respect them? As headlines erupted, the media scrambled to explain it. Some claimed she needed rest. Others said she wanted to focus on her rookie season. A few pointed to her lucrative endorsement deals and argued she didn't need the extra money. But none of those explanations got to the heart of it. Clark's decision wasn't about exhaustion, loyalty, or greed. It was about power. By turning down what seemed like the perfect opportunity, Clark sent a message louder than any press release. She wasn't chasing comfort or convenience, she was declaring war. While the WNBA remained mired in internal politics, Clark was playing a different game entirely, one far bigger than basketball. Her rejection wasn't an act of rebellion, it was a weapon. She turned down millions to shine a light on something much deeper, a broken system that had trapped her in plain sight. Her choice was a signal flare, transforming her story from a sports narrative into a social reckoning. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about points, paychecks, or contracts. It was about treatment. And that's when things took an even darker turn. Former White House official Sean Mullen publicly called for a federal investigation into the WNBA, alleging that Clark had become the victim of a hostile workplace. He claimed the league had allowed, and possibly encouraged, a systemic campaign of abuse that went beyond standard rookie hazing or tough defense. The evidence was hard to ignore. Clark had already endured 6 flagrant fouls in her rookie season, more than many veterans face in years. She'd been shoved to the floor by Kennedy Carter, hit hard by Marina Mabrey, and missed 10 games due to injuries that should have been preventable. Even players around the league began to speak out. Phoenix Mercury guard Sophie Cunningham said it plainly, "There's no protection for the league's best player." And still, from the top, silence. No fines, no suspensions, no public defense. Every hit, every shove, and every missed game was brushed off as just part of the game. For the league's biggest star, the player responsible for record-breaking ratings, that silence became impossible to justify. The problem wasn't incompetence. It was complicity. The politics extended far beyond the court, all the way to the Olympics. Clark's exclusion from the U.S. roster was the final confirmation that her battles weren't about performance. They were about control. According to leaked details from journalist Christine Brennan's forthcoming book, Clark's Olympic spot had been decided long before tryouts even began. It wasn't about merit, it was about maintaining hierarchy. A roster spot that should have been hers went instead to a retiring veteran, Diana Taurasi, as a farewell gift. The decision wasn't about assembling the best team, it was about protecting the old guard and sidelining the one player whose stardom threatened to eclipse them all. Insiders even admitted that officials feared the backlash if Clark's popularity overshadowed the veterans, so they kept her off the team entirely. She wasn't excluded because she wasn't good enough, she was excluded because she was too good. When her Indiana Fever coach Christy Sides broke the news, Clark didn't lash out. She simply said, "It's a warning. They've awakened something they can't control." That line proved prophetic. What followed exposed just how dependent the WNBA had become on one player. For years, the league brushed off criticism with the same refrain, "We're growing. Give us time." But the numbers told a different story. With Clark on the court, the WNBA soared to unprecedented heights, 1.8 million average viewers per game, sold-out arenas, and surging merchandise sales. Teams even had to move to larger venues to accommodate the demand. For the first time in years, women's basketball dominated national headlines. Then Clark missed 10 games due to injury, and the illusion shattered. Ratings plunged by 55%. Average viewership dropped to 847,000. Sponsors panicked. Networks grew nervous. The truth was inescapable. The WNBA's success wasn't collective, it was Caitlin Clark. Without her, the league doesn't just weaken. It collapses. Instead of protecting and empowering the player holding their entire ecosystem together, the WNBA treated her like a problem to manage, a cash cow to exploit without offering respect, safety, or voice. The data doesn't lie. The league is surviving because of her, not the other way around. So no, Clark's rejection of that $1 million offer wasn't foolish. It was strategic. By walking away, she didn't lose power, she created it. She transformed from an athlete seeking fair pay into a cultural figure demanding accountability. She didn't just reject a paycheck, she forced the entire sports world to confront an uncomfortable truth. A league that depends on one player can't afford to silence her. Her refusal lit the fuse. And the explosion that followed wasn't just a controversy, it was a reckoning.